Hello. See how my volume compares. See how my volume compares. Oh, yeah. See how my volume compares. Oh, yeah. Sorry about the echo. Let's turn that background down just a little bit, I think. That should be a little bit better. Yeah, yeah. I got a new theme and a new background. So, ready. I got all kinds of new stuff. So ready. I don't know what this theme is from. It's probably some video game I don't know anything about. That's okay. That's okay. I do have 2 new Oracle decks that I'm really excited to bust out. We're gonna explore them a little bit together. I haven't done a ton with them. Hello, my bones dog, how are you? Just getting my bearings here. I haven't been streaming as regularly as I intended to, and I need to get back on it, so this is my intention. Oh, thank you for joining. I am refining the look. So we're getting there. I'm getting to where I like it, I think. But yeah, so I have 2 new Oracle decks. I'm gonna bust those out. Along the way, I'm gonna talk about manifesting because I feel like there's so many Instagram accounts that post memes about manifesting, and then like in between they'll post things that are like conflicting, and I'm just like, no, you're really messing with people's heads. It's always about us. It's always about self-love and focusing on the self and improving the self in a way that gives you satisfaction. You know, accomplishing the things that you hope to accomplish is going to make you feel good. And when you feel good, you get more of that. So that's what it all boils down to. It all boils down to actually working on yourself. That's what the tarot cards always read. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna randomly talk about some stuff tonight. And I'll do some live draws as well. I'm just gonna kind of play along with these decks. I haven't worked much with these 2 decks, so I haven't even seen all the cards yet. So it's a real new experience for everyone. So I don't even know what they mean or what's even there. But I've done a few readings with them and kind of skimmed the interpretations. And I like the deck. It's really nice. I've got 2 of them. Actually, one of them is called Starry Beginnings, and one of them is Priestess Kasha. This one's Priestess of the Light. And they look like this. You're not going to see it right because of the green screen, but the artwork is dope. And then the Starry Beginnings, here's the little booklet it comes with. And they are really neat cards too. I like these. This art. I did not need any decks. I have now four tarot decks and 4 oracle decks. I'm gonna call that a wrap for a minute. But so yeah, let's see what some of these cards have to say, and we'll kind of you know, see what happens. But hello anyway, viewers who are hanging out. if anybody has any questions or wants any cards pulled. I don't have a drawing pre-done this time. I just figured I would do it live. And we'll see what happens. That's all we can do. It's always interesting, I think. But let me pull some cards from Old Faithful here. Oh, Oracle and Tarot cards. So the Tarot deck is a laid out, structured deck. There is the upper and lower, or the major and minor arcana, or upper and lower arcana. It has court cards, and it has the set number 78 in the deck. There's the same system of like every card is going to be the same. They might look differently, the art might be different, there's some slight variations on the name. You'll see people use a traditional playing card deck as well, to emulate the tarot deck, with a few exceptions. So that's a very structured, and that is the and here's a really funny thing about tarot. I didn't know this until recently, and I'm not gonna stop because it just sounds weird, but it's actually tarot. It's not French. It's tarot, but or tarot or something along those lines, but like it's not tarot. But that's how everybody says it, and so it's like I'm not gonna be the one that changes it today. It's not my job. But so this has been around. The structured archetype system has been around for a very long time. Oracle cards, however, have no rules, period. There's no structure. The idea behind them is just that there's messages in the cards, and there might be any number of cards and any number of messages, and they might take any number of formats. So for example, good catch. This is my Animal Spirit Tarot deck, or Oracle deck. All the messages take the place and are represented by an animal spirit. So yeah, I don't necessarily like the word either, but I was like, oh, it's not French. Who knew that? I didn't know that. I've been reading them since I was a kid. I've never known that. But yeah, Oracle cards are, and you'll notice, so like I've got 4 Oracle decks. I've only got 3 out right now. So here's the Animal Spirit. That's a baddie, right? It's a thickie. That's a big deck. And here's the Goddess one. And then here's the Star one. So and the cards are all almost the same thickness. They're very close. Only the Animal deck is like hard, thicker, but yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more options. So you can get pretty much any like subject matter and any style, and you can do whatever you want with them. So they're fun. But I like the structure of the tarot. The archetypes are very across the board. You can pick up any tarot deck and read it. You don't need any further knowledge. Once you know the tarot deck, you know the tarot deck. Okay. That's one of the benefits of it, is because that structure is there and you can utilize that consistency, especially once you get comfortable with the deck. I call this my Old Faithful because this is just a very stable, functional, tangible advice kind of a deck. It's really simple. It's not overcomplicated. It's not super poetic. Like, that's not the point. The point is to actually give you advice, and that's what this deck does. And for me, it's great for on-the-spot reading. Now, if you want something way more in-depth, personal, super like custom to your personal journey, that's when I bust out one of the other decks and I do the recorded private readings where I don't do them live. I do them and then you have an opportunity to review them and we discuss and whatnot. But so I just deal with different decks different ways. Let's give this a deck a little spin here and see what it wants to say tonight, though, because, you know, we'll start with a little bit of structure. But this deck is just kind of like always really like to the point. There's no, you know, romanticizing it, which is kind of nice sometimes when you're just trying to get some advice. So we're dropping. This is not gonna work. Let me figure out how to off this. Use some of my crystals. That'll work, right? It's in a bad spot. There we go. There it is. So that Four of Swords is, oh hi, thank you for the raid. Hanging out and doing a tarot reading. I just drew the first card, so if you're looking for a tarot reading, now's the time. Four of Swords says that kind of biding your time at this moment. There may be some big changes coming forward for you, and there's a lot of activity that's going to be involved with that. There's a lot of challenges that come with that. There's going to be a lot of purging energy that is not gonna flow with your new plan. So you're kind of, this is the preparation stage. You see that inner light there, that's all inner focus. That's all digging into the personal realm and handling any traumas and any healing that is necessary so that you can embark on this new journey. If you do not prepare yourself, then you know that it could be difficult, but you also know that you've been through this before, and if you prepare yourself, you're going to be able to get through this really smoothly. It's just going to be a little bit less tumultuous than things have been in the past, because we're learning from our past, right? We hope we're learning and using it right. So if you're here to listen, it very well, there's going to be a card for you. Doesn't necessarily mean every card is going to be for you, but usually if it hits home, it hits home. So this is preparation. We're mentally preparing for what we know is going to be challenging, but that's okay. We know what we're doing. We're going to be good. And we're just going to kind of keep moving along. So that's where we're at right now. That's what we're dealing with. Mother of Pentacles. Oh, I love her, because that's a card that is representative of who I am. But the Mother of Pentacles is going to bring some energy to the table here. Now, we could be talking about a motherly figure in your life. We could be talking about a woman who is a mother who is highly important to you. The Mother of Pentacles is nurturing. She might not even be a literal, physical, biological mother, but she may be a mother type person who looks out for you. She's very nurturing. She's very considerate. Now, she is extremely protective, and you don't want to really push there, because she has a certain way about her that she comes in from behind and gets you back. She's definitely more subdued in her energy. She's very grounded and earthy, so she's very stable and reliable. These are the kind of people that you can count on. They have your back the entire time. If you have children with this type of a woman, or if you are the child of this type of a woman, you have probably had a fairly secure feeling, nurtured childhood. You feel that your children would be in excellent hands. She's very domesticated. Now, this can also pull that energy. We're always mirroring what's around us. So if this card comes up and reflects a person who's relevant, these characteristics that you admire in this person are yours as well. Now, you're also going to take any of these characteristics that you find annoying, irritating, don't quite jive with you. That's also what you're mirroring. So you got to look at both of these things. And if you're finding all these qualities admirable in this person, most people would. And Mother of Pentacles is a pretty pretty solid character, and you're usually going to find a really good reputation with that person. And you're going to feel that, but you're also then having to acknowledge these qualities in yourself, and this is what you need to embrace. Your will, your desire is to embrace these qualities that you like: the stability, the consistency, the reliability. She's really perceptive. She's just very aware and intuitive of her surroundings, and she just kind of knows, like, kind of a step ahead of everything. She's the woman that's like, like, oh, so and so forgot that, I've got it. Like, that's usually that type of energy. So you want to keep that kind of energy around. That's going to be good stuff for you. Let's see what we got coming in the future here, because there's always going to be, more from this. What does she have to do with this? Strength is gonna call on. Now, this card has came up earlier today as well in my daily reading. We talk about the Strength card. It's a lion, and instantly people think, a predator, or this fierce energy, this fierceness. But there's a different kind of a strength that the lion possesses. And this is the kind of an energy that we need to be comfortable with and embrace. Sometimes the lion is just needing to be firm and direct in communication. Doesn't need to pounce, doesn't need to, push, fight. The lion doesn't spend his energy on just every battle. It's only when that's the only way to go. The lion's a lot more reliable. Oh, thank you, the Urban Witch, for following. There's definitely some energy here that's going to be required of you that's not the direct, forceful thing that you might want to do, or maybe you've done in the past. So we're going to go about this a little bit differently. Instead, you're going to be clear, direct. You're going to have your boundaries. You're going to lay them out, and you're going to stick to them. And you don't need to put any more energy into it than what I'm giving you right now. It's that simple. It doesn't make me feel upset or anxious. It doesn't make me angry. It's just, this is what it is, and I'm going to stand firm here. That is strength. Resolve. We're talking about resolve. So keep that energy, especially we're right now in pre-shadow Mercury retrograde. There's so much energy behind this. Now, what you're focusing on is what you're going to be bringing about. And we're going to see cycles continuing and completing. But if you're addressing that with the right energy, you're not going to feel pain from that. I don't get scared about Mercury retrograde. I just realize that anything that I didn't tie up before, I'm going to have to tie up now. And so I just keep that mentality that it's my responsibility to do this. But I don't need to put any more energy into it than this. I can literally just handle it and then move forward. And then every time I hit that next retrograde, it's just easier and easier and easier. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing. You can work through these things. Now, communication is the biggest struggle, of course, tech and travel and stuff. You don't want to start anything new or sign any new contracts. But if you have been working on something and you've been spending a tremendous amount of time on it, and you've invested this, and the communication is clear and direct and good, there's no reason that you don't put that energy and stay in that energy. It's just not a good time to start something brand new with somebody that you just hooked up with from 10 years ago. Okay, don't do that. And don't get back with the exes. You're going to realize the communication issues. Now, everybody does that. And if you're already in a relationship, it's not an ex that comes back. But sometimes friends from our past, or family situations from our past. So anyway, I lost the vibe on that card. I had a vibe on the card, and then I just was talking about something else. Hi, Hallie. How are you? Not Pumpkin Spice is here. So, ooh, I love this card. Ah, I do this every time too. I like this card too. I like all the cards. But the Three of Pentacles is really, really exciting because there's a mission to embark on, and it's a choice. You don't have to if you don't want to. But it sounds like it might be something that you might want to undertake. It feels pretty good for certain people. They're going to go look at this and go, yeah, I'm ready for a challenge. I'm ready for something new, an adventure a little bit. And you see, this is not alone here. There's 3 connected pentacles there. So we are networking, connecting with others. This is a team effort. This is not just you on your own. There are important people that you connect with on this mission, on this adventure. So we really want to make sure that you're focused on and especially if you've already been working on something that had a team, that was a team project, that's looking really good for completing it, because this is a really like positive energy feel right now with that card, some success. And the Lover's card is coming up for somebody specifically, but I don't really think it fits into the reading. The Lover's card for somebody, it's indicating a union is near, or a bonding that will be more secure, enforced, especially if you've been working on a relationship. You've been putting a lot of effort into this relationship already. So this is for someone specific, the Lover's card. They've been putting a lot of effort into trying to make relationship work or happen for them. But this is definitely showing a framework of a balance. There's a union here of the right energies that fits together really good. And so if you've been working really hard on having a good relationship, that one's for you. Okay, now we're going to go back into the reading. Sometimes cards just pop out. But the Empress card feels maybe it was in alignment here. Empress card, we're looking for that same nurturing. Oh, I'm so glad that it did. We're looking for that same nurturing in the Empress. Maybe this one's for you as well. But there's, you know, a heightened sense of confidence here. This isn't something that you've just gone into without deep consideration, and wanting to really show up in a much bigger way than you ever have before in a relationship or a situation or a friendship, whatever the situation may be. Really showing up in a way where you're adding so much value, and I don't say maybe value, but like passion to the energy, to the situation. Really stable. So let's look at some advice from this one. Oh, our Father of Cups. He's lovely. He feels like he's really affected by this energy right now. So if we have any Father of Cups we're dealing with, or who happen to be listening, I'm sorry that you're in pre-shadow Mercury retrograde. And if there's a lot going on, you're definitely feeling it. You're going to feel it from everybody because you're feeling the water. You're in the water sign. Cups. And it's all in our, but this is in our, we're creating better bonds and better standing relationships with people. Not necessarily new people, but people that maybe we haven't invested as much time and energy in as we should have. Now, this could be romantic and it could be platonic, it could be for your family, But you know, with especially with the, you've got the Lovers, and then we've got the Empress. That's the mother of all mothers. That's the creation from everything springs from. That's the center point. And then now we're looking at the Father of Cups, and he's this, you know, he brings this element of romance, art, and poetry to things. And he can be affected emotionally, and so sometimes we need to give him a little bit of space and maybe a little bit of patience, and maybe everybody needs a little bit of patience right now. Maybe we all are going to be a little bit affected extra, and we want to just take a few moments and breathe before you respond to people. That's the best advice I can give everyone. And if it's really big, especially during, like, through, you know, I want to say it goes through the end of June, middle of June, somewhere in there, near the end of June, I think. Maybe sleep on things a lot. Don't respond right away, and plan ahead, plan extra. Just take that time and be like, you know what, I need to get to this place, it's this long of a drive. Just go ahead and give myself like this extra 20 minutes. If I'm there early, that's totally cool. I could chill in the car, I'll walk, I'll get a drink, you know, whatever. Just plan a little extra. Give yourself that little bit of extra forgiveness too. So don't get mad at yourself if you didn't give yourself extra time and you got stuck in traffic. That's okay. Just, it's fine. We don't want to rip ourselves out of alignment every time we have a bad period. And when we're dealing with the cycles of life, there's the up, down, 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 down. And we have some rough times. Like, we have some days that aren't so perfect. And that's people without mental health issues. This is everybody. Then you have mental health issues, you have a different cycle that you're on too sometimes. So we all have these ebbs and flows of energy. It comes and it goes. Sometimes we're flowing this way, and sometimes we flow a little this way. We have to like smooth some stuff out over here, and then we work a little bit this way. And we feel like we're just going back and forth, but there's definitely like more forward motion as long as we take the time to smooth when we're back here. So that's what this period of time is. It's more about retreating, healing, focusing on the self, giving yourself some extra patience, some extra self-love. Work on yourself. Sign up for a class, read a book. Do anything for yourself that makes you feel good right now. And focusing on that is going to be the way through any emotional strain from any other direction. That's your focus. You get right into that. This is not wine, by the way. This is how I drink my coffee and protein shakes now. So I enjoy this very much. Thank you for subscribing. But I bought a Wine Mom tumbler. I was like, I'm gonna be one of them moms. And put coffee in it. I have to sip. So yeah, that's a fun one. Let's look at some of these oracle cards because I love them so much. I love them. I love them. Thank you, Bones. You have a good lunch. Hope you can catch me next time, whenever that is. I'm trying to stream more. I'm being really slack. Stream more. I rearranged my entire room though, and I made it set up so it's way easier for me to put my green screen in place and do my thing. Because I really like, I mean, I don't know, my room is cool, I guess, but the way the computer is, you don't really see the cool parts. That's not what we're going for. This deck is such a beast. The animal spirits. Let's see what we got. Our rabbit spirit for the now is a lucky time. Just kind of hitting back on that. It's time for something new. But whatever you've been working towards or focused on, especially, or if you've been thinking about it, planning about it, and maybe you know, you're just getting near to the time, you're gonna have a little bit more, I don't really like the word luck. I just feel like sometimes things flow. You feel like sometimes that things just flow a little easier for you. Feel like you're just kind of in the stream, just kind of going with it. That's what I like. That to me, I don't call that luck. I just feel like I'm in alignment. A little bit about manifesting. You know, it is a little bit about feeling the flow and feeling already in it, already receiving it, already in, literally waiting for it to be handed to you. A lot of times I see people, once they've put it out there, they're chasing. They're just chasing. They get one step forward and then they chase harder. And it's like, no, you got one step, get one step further. That's when you have the trust. Now that's when you know, like, I'm moving forward. That's when you actually can relax and go, yeah, I got this. Brown bear spirit. Take the time out. That's what that healing part is about, that we were just talking about. Sometimes as we're preparing to do something big, we have to take time to make sure that we're ready. And that means different things for different people. Now, for some people, you might find that, you want to start a business and you're going to run it out of your home, but maybe you don't have a home office yet. That would be a great thing to start with, to start by creating that space. There's preparation, and then it's going to mentally prepare you for that as well. So maybe, there's some aspects of travel that you need to accommodate for your dream job. And you need to go and, update that passport, or maybe you need to update your travel profiles so that you can get all your rewards and such, because you're about to start traveling a lot and you need to get all this ready. It's different for everybody. For some people, it may be, I need to sit here and make sure that this is what I want. I don't know what I want. Is this what I want? Auntie Art, hello, how are you? So yeah, sometimes preparation for what we're doing means we're sitting there making sure that this is literally, did you see the little planning fly? I just noticed that one. That's so cute. Oh, I gotta keep looking for more loops. I love these. Anyway. My phone's going off. Sorry about the buzz. Shit. So yeah. Okay. Let's get one more of these animal spirit circles. You cannot see that at all. It pretty much matches the whole thing. But this is electric eel spirit. It says bring your ideas to life. So that's the preparation part too. But this is a little bit more active. So I feel like some of us are still in the mental preparation stages. Some of us are starting to create our environment. Sometimes some of us are in that stage. Some of us already have our environment, and now we're bringing these ideas to life. So it's all where you're at. You don't have to feel like you're at the wrong place. I'm not there. I got to get there faster. That's not what we do when we're manifesting. We're just riding it. We're riding that flow, riding that. So there it goes. So especially when you're in your vibe and you're feeling really, really extra good about it, that's when these ideas really hit you. When you're relaxed, when you're enjoying yourself, when you're creating, when you're just doing what makes you feel good, whether you're taking care of yourself or you're cooking or your home or your environment, your yard, whatever, you're doing your thing, you're flowing, and then these things hit you, and then you go, that's what I needed to do. So we're going to be hitting, for some of us that are already little bit farther ahead in that physical manifesting aspects where we're several steps into it. You're going to be given some spark of energy to make that come to life a little bit more. Okay, we're going to get into these new decks. I have 2 new Oracle decks. I barely use them, but I like them. Taking some peeks. They're really cute. That's an important part of my Oracle and Tarot reading, is that my cards are cute. And I like the artwork. The artwork has to speak to me. If it doesn't, I don't want nothing to do with them. I also like the way these feel. I couldn't feel them on Amazon, obviously. But the texture of the cards on the print side is got a little bit more grippy, which is nice for shuffling, like really nice for shuffling. One of my other spirit decks is very slippery. And ooh, those cards just go everywhere. This one. Sorry for smacking the mic. This one says Portal. Infinite mind and awakened consciousness. It's kind of like the abundance mindset, isn't it? It's kind of like honing your focus in on this bigger conscious existence that from which everything comes from, and just kind of opening yourself up to it and be like, hand it over. Deliver to me. I'm ready for it. I know it's there. It's mine. And it feels like there's some challenge involved in creating this portal. So the infinite mind, I would say, is really going to be a challenge for a lot of people to consider things that haven't been considered. We don't know all the possibilities, and you can't know them all. Infinite mind and complete openness of your thoughts and possibilities. That's a really interesting card concept. Awakening consciousness. I'm gonna scan the book out of curiosity. Oh, it's the first card too. Ooh, yeah. This fits in with the whole reading so nicely. I'm gonna read just a little bit of it. The card heralds the coming of a very powerful time for you and signifies no less than the awakening of your infinite and eternal awareness, representing the profound connections that reach from your own mind to the unlimited power of the divine source. This is the portal to your ultimate experience of inspiration, connecting to the unending flow of beneficial information, touching on everything from creative or artistic endeavors to work projects and even financial investments. So, it fits in really good. I like it. Let's see what else we got. Boom. Ooh, this one's neat. I haven't seen this one before. Wings of Light. Becoming something new. That's so scary. Especially once we get past the, being like 20. The idea of reinventing yourself again. Because a lot of people are like, I don't want to do it. It's a lot of work. It's scary. I love it. I love becoming someone new every time. It's why should I be the same person for like 80 years? That's wow. That is I love evolving, and I love growing, and I love becoming a different person and learning new things and new skills and putting myself in new environments and challenging myself in all these different ways. And I feel like this adaptability is kind of like, that's my fountain of youth. That's how I feel young. That's how I feel excited. It's by constantly reinventing myself, constantly adding to what I'm doing. I'm going to be expanding my practice into doing more life coaching, specifically transformative life coaching, spiritual life coaching. So I'm going to stay in my realm, but I'm working on my classes right now to be certified in that, as well as an NLP practitioner, neuro linguistic programming, which is something that I've been working with and involved in for a number of years. All of these things are things that I've been dabbling with for years. I'm just making it a little bit more official so that I can move my business forward. So it's interesting when this Wings of Light comes up, because I'm like, oh, that would kind of something new. But I think it's important that we're constantly challenging and adding so that we don't find life stagnant. Stagnant and unchanging is going to get depressing. You're going to get depressed. And I find that a lot of people that come to me and they're like, I'm depressed, I don't know why. And I'm like, well, what do you need to change? What do you want? And they don't even like stop to consider that what they want doesn't match with what they're doing and what they have. Like, you don't think that's going to make you feel bad? Like, that doesn't mean that, you shouldn't go and get, professional help or whatever is necessary to get out of that, because I needed that in order to get myself back in alignment. But, the next step in getting into the groove of getting commissions, I mean, that's going to be something that you're probably going to find is the thing that's going to be coming to you in that inspiration. I would imagine that I think what you're doing, by being more active is a big key to that. Being more present with and just kind of doing it and being seen, is that something new might also mean for you in this case. Why don't we try a different method? Let's brainstorm different ways of reaching out. There's different sites that have been active and functioning. One of the ones that I'm very surprised at and impressed by, I never really used before, LinkedIn is really starting to help me, as well as Alignable for my business. But there's for your specific, you want to look for something specifically where you can put yourself out there for your commissions, but maybe looking at it in a different way. What kind of a thing that can you do that's different? Are there going to be, and thank you for following Keensbrock. Good evening. So yeah, I'm thinking that you're probably looking anti-art at exploring some new options and trying to be a little bit creative and innovative in that. So healing the heart, that really fits in. The power of self-love, that's what we were talking about all night. It's how it always comes back to self-love. It always comes back to self-love. I'm just pulling cards. If something comes up for you, it might come up for you. If you give me a few, I'll probably likely pull a few cards for you. I'm just checking out this new deck right now. But healing the heart, we were talking about the power of self-love and going through challenges with pretty much anything, always bringing the focus back on the self. In any frustration, in any challenge, in any difficulties, rather than expressing outward with this frustration, you look back inward with some forgiveness, some patience, some compassion. Do something nice for yourself. You did a good job. You tried very hard. Give yourself the energy first, and then you're going to be automatically putting that back out. We mistakenly give to others, and then we feel very depleted. We feel like we're not getting back. There's no balance. We feel used or taken advantage of. But you'll find that the people that are happiest and have the most energy to give seem to be the people that give to themselves first. And it seems backwards because you go, oh, well, that might be selfish, but it's not selfish to provide for yourself first. And when you're on an airplane and you're going to crash, you put your own oxygen mask on before you put anyone else's, because if you pass out, you can't help anybody. That's how everything is. If you're depleted, you have nothing left for anyone else. It doesn't make any sense why you would even do that. You always take care of the self first. This is what self-love is about. So I'm gonna you're right, we all do that. No, self first. So I love this deck. I'll revisit it in future draws here, but I'm going to move to this one, and we're going to see if anyone else feels to any of these cards. After I pull a few of these ones, though, Kian Sprack, I will go back to the tarot deck, and we'll try to pull a few for you directly. Call everybody out. What's nice is, I don't know if you can see it. See, there's the little planet on the cards, and the little one that goes by. It's the littlest things that make me happy. This is a good card. We're going to use this one. Following the path of another. Your path is being redirected to be it should be. That's interesting. So the starting something new and the preparation for the adventure seems to be a little bit of a redirect for some. This is, maybe they were headed over in this direction and they just couldn't go through with it. Now they have to go over here. You're supposed to. Now, it's not necessarily voluntary. Some people will be like, I didn't want it to happen that way. It's supposed to happen that way. So you should be happy about it. Be like, thank you, universe. Thank you for steering me where I needed to be, because this card says that that's what it was supposed to be. So maybe you don't like that. And you know, the thing that's interesting in the situation that I'm in right now is I've been inspired by someone. And that's not typically what I do. Usually I'm the one forging the path and creating my own way. And in this situation, I was just, why can't I do that too? There's no reason, like, I'm not like copying them outright. It's not plagiarism. You know, I'm not sitting here reading their words or anything. But I saw how they went about things and how they got their business going, and I was like, why don't I do that? So somebody may have been detoured, and you need to look at it a little bit differently. You need to look at it with gratitude. When these things happen, we're being redirected for a good reason. Okay, with manifesting, since I did talk about manifesting in the thing, we're gonna add little anecdotes here. We have an idea in our head of what we want to do, or what we want, right? This is what we want in our life. This makes me feel a certain way. In my head, it feels this way. So, what if your interpretation isn't perfect? Okay? But the universe is like attached to you. It's a part of you. You're a part of it. There's no separation here. It feels what's really in here, what you really, really actually want to feel. And your higher self knows what will give you that feeling. Now, you might have some ideas and bits and pieces of what that might look like. Or maybe you're seeing bits and pieces along the way. And as those bits and pieces are occurring and those experiences are occurring, you're growing and changing, and what you want and what you're feeling and what you're projecting out might evolve. You might hone in a little bit more. So there's something that's being added to this, right? There's more to this than what you can see or what you can even comprehend. All you know when you're manifesting is you think that something's going to make you feel a certain way. And the universe knows you a little bit better than that, because it knows that you have a very limited framework to understand what would make you feel that way. But it knows the feeling you want. So it's trying to steer you there. It's trying to make sure that that matches. We don't know what that looks like. We have no idea. It could be something completely different than what we think. So what that looks like for each person is going to be different. But for the general idea, the feeling of bliss, of contentment, of feeling needed, wanted, desired, valuable, heard, these feelings make us feel complete. We feel whole. When we feel like a part of something, we have rapport with people. We have good, solid relationships. We feel loved. We feel supported. We feel like our work and what we spend our time on has some kind of purpose. These are like the general ideas of what we're actually looking for. That's our actual satisfaction. It has nothing to do with specifically what you're doing in order to make that happen, or you know, anything else as for that matter. We don't necessarily know what's going to end up in the grand scheme of things. That could change so many times. So many times. So hey Abby, I'm gonna do in just a minute, I'm just kind of pulling cards right now, and I have Kians, if he's here, or they are here, depending on their pronoun. I will draw a few cards for them, and then I will draw a few cards for you. But I'm just checking out this new deck. I just want to pull a few more cards for it. Boop. But you never know. Sometimes I pull a card and it's for you anyway. We just see what happens. The way is clear. Awaken to the power within you. So I haven't pulled this one before yet either. But I think this again, you think you turn off all the device notifications, apparently. I missed one. So I'll check that next time. The way is clear. If we're awakening the power within us, we have to stop chasing and doubting. You have to know. No. Hi, Diddy Dysfunctional. How are you, my dear? You know, I've been having fun with the cards too. Especially my new deck. We're opening up ourselves to our abilities. Part of that self-love is self-trust and recognizing our capabilities. And then if we don't have the capability yet, that's okay. We have the potential for it, and we can figure out the steps for it. Some of us are going to be figuring out the steps of it. Some of us might be a little bit farther ahead in it. Let's do one more of these ones. You are bright energy. Color uplifts you. Well, we must have a lot of artists in here this evening. The color uplifts me. It does. I wear all black, but I love color. My personality is colorful, so I don't need to wear colorful clothing. So yeah, I think that this bright energy one is focusing in on our environment and maybe changing up the environment and maybe giving yourself a little bit more of an inspirational feeling or vibe will help facilitate that change in thinking that you're looking for. Maybe we need to go look at pretty things and shut the brain up and let the information come through. There we go. So let's see what we have for Kian. I'm just going to pull some, I'm going to shuffle and then pull some cards. And we don't know what's going to come up. It just depends on what it feels like for me. Sometimes it's just for the person that's asking for the reading, and sometimes it's going to be for multiple people. If it feels like it's for you, it's for you. Five of Wands. Feeling a little bit disconnected. Not fully prepared at this point to take on whatever is next. There is a scattered vibe here. But with this energy, we can really directly ask yourself and be very, very blunt with yourself. What are you saying to yourself about your abilities to change your situation? Are you telling yourself that you can't do it? Because that only comes from this defeatist, that is a self-perpetuating idea. So we really have to break away from that. You're not going to be able to find a solution when you feel that you don't have the ability to do so. So we're going to feed a different energy here and see what we can do about that energy. Son of Swords. Direct, fiercely, directly. Now, fiercely doesn't mean aggressively. This is planned. This is honed in, utilizing skills and practice. The Son of Swords takes what he wants and makes it his own. He does not have any excuses. There's nothing that he wants more than to prove himself. So you're wanting to prove yourself. That requires your structure, consistency. Make yourself a schedule. Make yourself deadlines. Make yourself have the conversation that's difficult. Plan it out. Write it down. Say it to yourself. Say it to somebody that you trust. Make it happen. Make the business plan. Have the conversation with the investor. Apply for the job. Start the school. Whatever it is to make it happen, this is the energy that you have to take into that. Direct. Go for it. Invigorating. Like, that he wants to make something of himself. That energy is there, so it has to be directed. It has to be focused. Use the energy. This one. The Mother of Wands. We have a female energy, feminine energy, that is feeling overprotective, feeling as though something could be unseating the things that she has worked for. She wants to be very much in control of how things are happening. This is going to be about communication with her, and calm, respectful communication, because she can snap. You don't want her to strike. She's going to do what she needs to do. This is a very strong energy as well. Dealing with the Mother of Wands takes tact. You can always expect that if there is a disrespectful approach, you're going to know. So let's be respectful to her. That energy is not a bad energy. We want that there. It seems like, oh, why would I want that? No, you want that there. You want that check and balance. This one came up earlier, so this one's for you. This one's for you as well. Preparation. First inward. First the mental preparation. In the brain. Emotional preparation. That all starts with the self-talk. If you're talking about the things that can go wrong, you're telling yourself that you can't do it. Now, obviously, we come to challenges, but we don't look at them as with this defeat mind. We look at them with a problem-solving mind. So this inner stuff, this preparation before things get difficult, is a good time to start laying out what ifs as solutions. What if this happens? Then what will I do? I will do these steps. It's a really good practice for feeling confident in taking on new challenges, because then you feel very prepared. And even if something hits you that's not quite something that you prepared for, you've got all this bank of ideas to fall back on, and there's a lot of confidence building there. That's an exercise I highly recommend. If you're afraid of something and you're thinking about the what if I fail, reframe it and start writing the what if this happens, then I will, and create steps for action. Do some research. How would you get help? How would you, and the more prepared you feel, the more confident and the more able and the more direct you're going to go right into this. Almost dropping my deck here. And this one came up earlier as well. So sometimes when I'm starting the reading, there's lots of people that identify with a card, and perhaps you didn't see this one. Ask for help. You don't have to do it alone, and it doesn't mean that you haven't put a significant, very important amount of work into what you're about to do. You're gonna have, nobody here is not equal. Everyone here is equal. They're taking on a very big mountain. You need a little bit of support. There's nothing wrong with that. Perhaps the Mother of Wands. She's pretty on her shit. She might kick your butt around a little bit if you're not on point, though. So don't be afraid of her, but you might need that. Ask for help. And network and work with other people to create what it is that you're looking for. We'll just do one more. High Priestess. This is gonna go back in with this. What do you want? What do you want? If you do not ask yourself, if you do not take the time to identify what it is that you are looking for, you will flounder and you will feel lost and you will be depressed and anxious because you have not taken time to identify what it is that you feel like you want. At least identify what you don't want so you can narrow it down. A little bit of something. So, this one. Explore, love, and create. The only thing that holds you back is you. I already pretty much explained that, so I'm not going to break it down super hard again. Who else is in your way besides your own mind and your own thoughts, your own doubts, your own insecurities? We all have them, and that's our shadow self that we need to work on. We all have it. We all work on it. Little by little, we're supposed to work on it. You get a little better, you get a little better, you get a little better. So, okay. Abby. There's Abby. Before I get too out of alignment here. We gotta do a shuffle. We always gotta do at least one shuffle. I don't know, the cards like me to shake it off. Let's see, this one. Abby is at the prepared student phase. Maybe some other people are too. The Magician has gathered tools, resources, has some experience and knowledge. This is not brand new, but it is fresh and taking it to the next level and being prepared for that and desiring more. The Magician has a tremendous amount of energy swirling around, and they are just ready to create, manifest, all of these things. Bring it. There's so much energy behind this card. It's a great place to start. So whatever it is that you're looking to embark on or getting started with now, or just recently got started with, it's going very well for you. There's a lot of potential there and you can make a lot from it. So let's see what it's telling you. There is something that you should be walking away from. This Eight of Cups sounds like some kind of relationship. It doesn't necessarily mean any, specific one. Some things we can't fix because we aren't the problem. Okay. So if you have a toxic situation, if you're not being heard in a situation, if you're being held down, if you're being controlled, there is no fixing this. As many times as you may want to circle back around and try again, we all do it. It's okay. No shame, no judgment. You can't fix it. What was done was done. There's no fixing that. There's no going back from that. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to carry pain with us. We don't have to carry remorse with us. We look at this and we go, oh, we unattach, turn around, walk away, and do not look back. Not until you can look back at it without emotion. Give it some time, give it some space, but this has got to go. That's icky energy. You have so much right here. Get rid of that. Like, don't even sit there. Like, go ahead, sleep on it, and then when you wake up, start making plans for how you're gonna, sometimes it's just slipping away into the darkness. That's fine. If you can handle that, you can do that. And then this one, who is this person? There's a situation or person that you need to get rid of. It's not good. It's gonna continue to get worse. The Star, this is coming forward for you. You're gonna feel a lot better about your opportunities. You're gonna feel a lot better about the things that are ahead of you. You're gonna feel excitement. There is a ton of hope and bliss in store for you right here in the Star card. So it's okay. You're gonna be okay. This is what we want right here. So difficult challenge. It's not gonna be easy. We can't just like walk away from things sometimes that's what needs to be done. And the Hangman. So the Hangman is kind of given this like, you know what this is about, but you also maybe are gonna identify that there's some patterns involved. Perhaps there's a reason that you've ended up in that situation. Right now, it might be best to step back away from all of that. Don't dive too far into anything except healing and self-love for a minute. Pay close attention to the thoughts that are going through your head, especially about yourself. Make sure that you're forgiving, that you're allowing yourself to heal, that you're giving yourself time and space for that. Sometimes we just need to silence the mind so that what we need to hear, what we need, comes through to us. So if somebody is going through a tremendous amount right now, it's perfectly okay for you to just be still and find peace. You don't have to do it all the time. Not all of us are actively engaging in these practices. Sometimes we retreat and we take a break. So especially if you have gone through or you are about to break ties with someone, take some time. And it's perfectly okay, because you will feel the relief of that. It will come forward for you. The ebb and flow, the ups and the downs. So this was a learning cycle for you. Might have been a little difficult. Now this Mercury retrograde is gonna rip a lot of those wounds up to the surface. You're gonna feel a lot of it. But we are doing that. We are cycling around from day to night, the ebb and the flow, the up and the down. This is so that we can move from these difficult times, cycles, and patterns. We can release them and we can continue moving, flowing forward. The Wheel of Fortune is telling you to just hang on. Work on you. Hang on, focus on you, and just keep going. This turns out really good for you. Anytime we have like tremendous amount of potential, we start to realize that sometimes there's people in our space or energy in our space that's just kind of clinging on. And as much as it might be enjoyable for periods of time in our life, and sometimes these times end. So whatever that situation is, it's time to be done. And you don't have any guilt in that situation. This is not your issue. So let's take a look at what this oracle has to add to that. Priestess of the Light this time. Abundance. There's more than enough. So you're not going to miss out. You're not going to lack. Maybe this situation that you need to walk away from, you feel is a resource. And you might be feeling conflicted because you're like, oh, well, I'm at the magician stage. I have this potential and this is a resource. There's more resources. They're everywhere. And they fit with your values. You don't have to give up your own morals and passions and commitment in order to have what you need around you. You just have to know that it's there. Believe that it's there. And by holding on to things that don't serve you, you're suggesting that you don't believe it's there. Because you're like, no, I got to hold on to this one. But when you let go, you're actually saying, I believe that there's another one there for me and it'll show up when it needs to. Ooh, nice. This is another new one I haven't, oh, you can't see it very good. Sacred breath and sound, life force communication. Sacred breath is feeling very much like we are taking time to replenish the soul by giving the space and the time to just focus on the breath. Just breathing sometimes is important. It's required, but we do it automatically, and we don't take these things, we take them for granted, and we no longer see them as sacred gifts. But think about life without, there's no concept of that for us. There's some very important aspect of the act of breathing and keeping us alive. It's more than just an automatic thing that we do, and we should take some time to be conscious of it. Communication often, I feel, flows a lot better after we have taken time to really value the very simplest of things. So give everything the attention to detail that it deserves. Don't skip. Don't try to gloss over things. Don't try to rush past them. Give them the attention they deserve. And give it its moment. Everything is as you've created. All you create offers you lessons in life. Manifesting. See, this is a great card to end on, I think. We create and we manifest and we desire based on the lessons that we need to learn. That's why we don't know what they look like. Because if you knew what they look like, you'd try to plan for it before the test comes. You're trying to cheat. You don't get to cheat. So, but in our choices of what we want to manifest and create, we are taking pieces of ourselves that we wish to add to. So if you're manifesting love and romance, you're wanting to add more romance into your personal love, to be a little bit more dramatic for yourself, show up a little bit more for yourself, be a little louder for yourself. So yeah, all of the lessons, I mean, everything that we've experienced is something that we needed to experience, whether or not it was fair, whether or not it was meant for us. There's no such thing as meant for us in that way. It's just the lessons that come from our experiences. Everybody gets to them in some way or another. Some people get it rough, but they have some really profound ways of looking at things afterwards. It often takes really wanting something and then putting the effort into it and desire and creation to see a piece of what you don't have. So in all of my manifesting various stages of material success, I found that I could not necessarily get past a certain blockage that I had because I wasn't really being honest about what I wanted. I was kind of glossing over certain parts that just, well, this will come along and fit in too, instead of being honest and saying, no, this is a part of it for me because this allows me to feel this way that these other things don't provide. So a lot of it often has to do with our connection with others. It's our rapport. That's the mirror from ourselves. So how we're feeling about ourselves is what we're going to see outward, and my hair is all crazy. See outward in others and the people around us and their behavior. If you're feeling very conflicted and it's going to drive me nuts. If you're feeling very conflicted, you're going to find a lot of conflict and confused, lost people hovering around. That's what you're going to see and experience when you start to sit down and clarify these things for yourself, as these cards have been telling you to. Asking these very hard questions, then you're going to start to see a little bit more deliberate intention, a little bit more. So I think that I'm going to wrap it up this evening. I don't think there's anybody else. If there's anybody else that would like a card read, I'm happy to do another one or two, but otherwise I think I'm going to wrap it up. Get some more coffee in my Wine Mom tumbler. But it's been delightful. There's a lot more about manifesting that I always want to talk about. But I feel like it has to come in pieces, because as much as I was exposed to all of this information from a number of sources, both old and new, different perspectives, different ideas, I had to absorb it in pieces. And each piece I absorbed allowed me to get to the next step. Then I get to the next step and I start to go, oh, there's a few times that I manifested things that seemed great. And they weren't necessarily what I thought they were going to be. So I had to learn to do it a little differently. And the way that I try to explain it and teach it is what I found works the best, not the stuff that I messed up with. So when I say, you know, don't hone in too much on the detail, just be open to whatever makes you feel that way. It's because sometimes I've pined for something so badly that I was given exactly what I wanted, and only to realize that that was missing a lot of pieces. But I pushed and pushed and pushed, and that's why we don't push. You put out there what you want, you work on yourself, and then it comes to you, it's drawn into you. I mean, that's not to say that you can sit in your room for the rest of your life, not talk to anybody, you don't even go online, and everything's going to show up at your door. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, do you have to try to convince people to feel a way about you? Do you have to convince yourself that you're capable of it? So, anyway, like I said, I'm probably going to wrap it up, unless anyone wants to speak on anything. I just had a long day. I'm trying to stay hydrated. It's very difficult. My saggy arms. Very saggy all over. I don't like it. It's okay. I'll be okay. I'll be alright. I don't like the saggy. I don't look at my arms. And start wearing short sleeves. I think I'll start wearing short sleeve or something. Anyway, I don't hate my arms. I'm okay with them. It is what it is. But yeah, alright. Anyone would like a personal, private, confidential reading? There is. There it is. I'm not good with directions and in the mirror. MY.BIO / NikiAnarchy has all of my links. All of them. Every single one that you could want. Because every time I try to do something, there was just not enough space. But everybody's kind of all over the place. So if you want to check out my daily tarot readings, I'm starting to put those on YouTube. I also will be putting them on IGTV, which is astralhealingNiki. I'm only on Twitter as myself. I do not have a dual account. But that's my personal Instagram. I don't care if people follow it. I just, if you want, you know, the stuff. And that's my Facebook page. More than happy to, if you leave any recommendations for me, I love that. It makes me happy. But if you would like a reading, please hit me up. Message me however you would like. Always appreciate when people share my stream or share my links. I depend on the referrals from folks who feel that I have some kind of insight or things to say or helpful advice. And I am, as I said, moving more into spiritual coach and transformational life coach. So if anyone might be interested in that, definitely hit me up. Otherwise, I'm gonna peace out. So thank you so much for joining me, and good night.